Time to pull up a chair. We've got another great story for you today in the rLounge. Sweet 16, the age where innocence collides head-on with adolescence and where the term awkward phase finds its true calling. Today in the rLounge, here's to Sweet 16, where the struggle is real, but the memories are almost priceless. Up first, OP bravely shares their journey of resilience and redemption. Family that left me on the streets at 16, now 30 years later, wants to apologize and make up for lost time. Okay, as a mild lurker on Reddit, thought I would share my story and newest development in my life after 30 years. Might be a bit long, but will do my very best to give you context without too much fluff. Hope this is the right sub. So I lost my mom when I was 12 to breast cancer. So that just left me and my dad. It was a tough time, but we got through it together. When I was 14, Dad met and married my stepmom, Ashley, who brought with her my stepbrother, Mark, 14, and stepsister, Emily, 12. I got along with Ashley and Emily really well, but Mark, not so much so. He and I were always getting into arguments and fights. I was always told by my dad to give Mark a break because he's been the man of his house for a while. So this is all new. Like somehow it wasn't new to me? Anyway, when I was 15, I met a girl at school, Lisa, and we started dating. As much as one can date at 15. However, Mark apparently had a crush on her and was mad that I asked her out. He started a fight over it, in which my dad had to intervene once again, and somehow I again was made to be the bad guy. One day after my 16th birthday, my stepmom was putting away my laundry and started yelling, which was awkward because my girlfriend Lisa was there. We all ran thinking the worst. When we got to my room, my stepmom was holding several pairs of my sister's underwear yelling at me why they're in my drawer. I had no answer as I'd never seen them before. Of course, no one believed me, no matter how much protesting I did. Then Mark piped up saying he always caught me staring at his sister, thought it was creepy, and caught me once saying I wish I could marry her. Obviously lying, but that was all it took. Lisa slapped me and called me a perv and told me we were done and walked out. My dad grabbed me by my arm and threw me out of the house, yelling at me that he wasn't going to put his daughter at risk from a perv. Not the word he used, but you get it. I banged on the door to be let in, crying and telling them it was all lies told by Mark. My dad apparently had enough. I heard the locks. He opened the door and shoved me to the ground and told me to get lost. I told him I had nowhere to go, and he said that wasn't his problem. Then he closed the door. I found myself on the streets, with nothing to my name, no place to go. I tried calling my dad's parents, but he had already called them, and they told me they won't help a perv. My mom's parents passed away before I was born. Well, I lived on the streets for 2 years, doing what I had to in order to survive. No kid should have had to do what I had to do in order to just live, just saying. There were some really dark days. Lots of therapy later in life helped me with this. Shortly after I turned 18, I found a job working at a boxing gym, states away from where I began this horrible journey. I worked there for years, learned the sport, never going to beat Mike Tyson, but was good at the sport, which helped me with my hate and anger. Then one day met a new girl, Amy, 20 female, at the cafe down the street from the gym. At this point I was 35. I know, huge age gap, but we just clicked. I don't believe in fate, or soulmates, or any of that stuff like that, but if there's such a thing, we had it. Don't know how else to put it. We dated for 2 years, and then got married. Her dad was an electrician and hired me on afterwards. I think mostly to know I would be able to support his daughter and know I was doing right by her, but also in case he needed to keep me in check. He never said this, but as a dad, I get it now. Well, 15 years later, we are still together with 4 beautiful daughters. I just passed my master's license as an electrician, thanks to my wife for pushing me to get my GED. She has been my rock, my cheerleader, my overall support through all of this, and I can't tell her enough how much she changed my life and how much I love her. Anyway, sorry for the tangent. So just this last weekend, I received an email from my stepsister. Not sure how she got my email address, but I know it wasn't hard via the internet. Not like I've been hiding. Mind you, I'm now pushing 53, so it's been 30 plus years since I've heard from any of them. It was a long, long email. Not going to give you all of it, but the meat of it is, they now know what really happened. Mark, I guess, was busy drinking with his buddies on Friday and somehow my name was mentioned. Mark, I guess, started bragging about how he set me up and took my girl. Yep, Mark and Lisa got together, married, all those years ago. They were all laughing, hoping I died on the streets. Bunch of rude and vile stuff. Guess he forgot Lisa was there and she heard it all. So she called my stepsister to let her know, and so Emily spent all weekend trying to find me. Like I said, the email was long. Short of it is, They want to apologize face to face, although it was already said in the email multiple times, and want to make up for lost time. I'm, however, indifferent to the idea. Like, I have no ill feelings towards her. She obviously was young and had no real say in the matter, but with lots and lots of therapy, I learned to let go of that hate and anger and to let go of them. As well with all the love I receive from my wife, kids, and in-laws, it's all I really need. I'm of the idea of just deleting the email and moving on like nothing happened. My wife thinks I should at least respond back, even if to say something snarky like, "Thanks for finally believing me. Only took over 30 years. Did I mention my wife has a mean, petty streak to her? She's awesome. Guess not asking for advice, just wanted to share my story. There is a boxing quote that I have up in my house that reminds me every day. To see a man beaten not by a better man, but by himself is a tragedy. Edited. Pushing 50 to 53, because apparently people are getting hung up on my age. Because if it's not perfect, guess that's Reddit for you. One quick reaction from the community. It's up to you what you should do. Personally, I'd either delete the email or respond telling her, thanks for letting you know, and that while you bear her no hard feelings, you have no interest in reconnecting with any of the rest of them. Well. Looks like Mark's karma finally delivered that overdue package. Hey, who needs that drama when you've got a knockout wife, 4 little champions, and a steady job as an electrician? You're way too busy for all of that. So, if you ever decide to respond, maybe a simple, thanks for the update, but I'm booked for life. Should do the trick. Keep dodging those punches and delivering those volts, OP. I'm so sorry you had to go through all of that. Losing your mom at such a young age, then getting unfairly ousted by your own family. No one should have to endure that. It's like life threw you into the ring without even teaching you how to box. But hey, you've been a real fighter. Clawing your way back up from rock bottom and finding love and stability after all that chaos. That's like finding a diamond in the landfill. What would you do? Up next, a stepdaughter's blunt rejection sparks a journey of tough love and self-respect. My stepdaughter said she hates me, so I'm not bringing her on my trip. There's an update at the bottom. I had to sit down with them. I, 28 female, married my, 37 male, husband 4 years ago when his daughter was 11. She's 15, almost 16. Her parents have been divorced since she was 7. She still sees her mom regularly and they have a great relationship. I know I will never be her mother and I have never tried to take on that role not to force her to look at me that way. The problem is, she doesn't like me at all. Since she was 11, she's made it clear I'm not her mom. She rolls her eyes at me, ignores me a lot of the time, tells me I'm not her mom, etc. Her mom and I get along. She will call me if she needs me to take my stepdaughter to practice instead because she has a new baby. We're not best friends, but we do keep in touch for the sake of her daughter because her dad travels a lot for work, so I'm the sole parental figure for her. I don't try to force my stepdaughter to spend time with me, but sometimes I do suggest we go shopping, watch a movie, etc., especially when her dad travels out of town for a few days. I'm always shut down. This brings me to last week. I had to go in her room to put more towels in her bathroom, and she's been a little down because her boyfriend broke up with her. I knock and she lets me in, and I see she's watching Love is Blind, and I say, "Oh, I'm watching this right now with Anna, my niece. I'm an episode behind you, but I'd love to watch it with you." She ignores me, and I put the towels in her bathroom, and when I'm leaving, I say, "I have snacks downstairs. I also got a new face mask if you want to try them out, or we can just talk if you want someone to vent to." Because we're both into skincare, and I know how hard a teenage breakup is. She pauses her TV and says, "Stop effing trying to be my mom. I don't like you. You're just my dad's wife. I have a mom, and you mean nothing to me, so stay the hell out of my life and stop trying to get me to do things with you. I want nothing to do with you, weirdo." She shoos me out of her room and slams the door in my face. I will admit that I cried a little. My niece, goddaughter, is graduating high school this year, and when we were watching Love is Blind, she said she would love to go to a beach because she's never been and go on a vacation before she starts college, so we started making plans. I'm paying for both of us. Her mom says she wants to go and she'll pay for herself. My niece also asked if her best friend could come, and I said I'd cover the hotel and plane, but her parents will have to pay the rest. Yesterday, when I was searching and calling around for hotels and amenities and things to do, she comes down and hears me. Her dad walked in and she goes, "Are we going on vacation?" He says, "I don't think so. Are we, Sarah?" I say, "I'm taking my sister, niece, and her friend as a graduation present." And she asked her dad if she can go, and he asked why I didn't ask her. And I said, "We made this plan when I asked her if she wanted to watch a show with me and my niece, and she told me I'm not her mom and she doesn't want to do things with me and she wants nothing to do with me." And they tried to make excuses, and I say, "I can't be your parent friend when you want me to do things for you, but you treat me like crap any other time." She went and called her mom, and her mom called me, and I explained what happened and what was said. She was shocked about what her daughter said to me, but she understood completely. She told my stepdaughter that she will take her on her trip when she graduates, but she missed out by acting that way, and she can't force me to take her. My husband says I should get over it and take her. I don't think I'm in the wrong. Update. I took some of the people's advice, and I had to sit down with her father, and her mother to talk about boundaries and clear rules of what I will not tolerate anymore. I'm still standing firm that I am not taking her on this trip because I'm not going to award bad behavior and verbally abusing, and I don't want to deal with that on the trip. I do not want to be miserable on a trip that's for my niece and celebrating her graduating. When my husband goes out of town, she will be staying with her grandmother or mother. I will no longer be parenting her here since she does not want me to do anything for her. And I will not until her attitude changes. I said that maybe she needs to go back to therapy, and her mother and dad agreed. I told her once again that I know she has a mother and doesn't need another. And that was never my goal, to try and come in and replace her mom. I just wanted to be a parental figure. My husband did apologize for not having my back and controlling this behavior before. I said that I may not be her mom, but I am her father's wife and I need basic respect. She doesn't have to like me, but I won't tolerate her disrespect. They both asked her to apologize for what she said, and she said, scoffed, and rolled her eyes. She stormed off, and her mother and father went after her to scold her. We also agreed to go to family therapy. I told them that I will not be asking her to do things with me like go to the mall or look for a birthday present for her dad, but if she comes to me with a changed attitude, then I will be more than happy to do so. Her mother said she will be talking to her privately about how her actions have consequences and that this was a small thing compared to what may happen in the real world. I do realize I should have been more vocal about the mistreatment, but I didn't want her to dislike me any more than she did. But I see that was not the correct decision, and hopefully we can come to some sort of, I think the word or phrase we can be is cordial. Your stepdaughter's got sass for days, doesn't she? But seriously, planning a graduation trip and getting a slap in the face with attitude? You don't and shouldn't have to put up with that. At least her mom's not sugarcoating the consequences of her behavior. Maybe a little tough love will knock some sense into her. And as far as your husband's suggestion to just suck it up and take her on the trip? Nah, girl, you're not a doormat. You're a human being with feelings. Ain't nobody got time for a vacation with a walking attitude problem. It's good that you're setting boundaries and not letting her walk all over you. Family therapy sounds like a solid plan. Maybe they'll prescribe her a big old dose of humility. Until then, keep standing your ground and remember, you're not just a wife. You're a boss babe. And ain't nobody got time to be talked to like that, especially by a nearly 16-year-old. What do you think? Would you have asked her to go on the trip anyways? Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell before you leave. We'd love to hear your thoughts on today's topic, so feel free to leave a comment. See you next time in the rLounge.